Shifting tracks now, and this is with regard to Tamil Nadu it's setting up a panel to form its own education policy. The Tamil Nadu government has formed a 13-member panel to produce and evolve its own state education policy. The panel, headed by former Chief Justice of Delhi High Court Justice D. Murugesan, also includes prominent faces such as world chess champion Vishwanathan Anand and musician T.M. Krishna. CM MK Stalin has said that the panel will give its recommendations to frame its new education policy within a year. The move comes in the backdrop of Tamil Nadu government actually opposing the national education policy of 2020, especially the three-language formula and entrance test for all undergraduates. So the panel, of course, includes prominent faces like Vishwanathan Anand and T.M. Krishna, and also the former Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, Justice D. Murugesan. Within a year, the panel is supposed to come up with its recommendations, which will contribute to forming Tamil Nadu's own education policy. Some of the objections which Tamil Nadu has raised to the national education policy include the three-language formula and entrance test for all UG courses. Let me go across to my colleague Mugilan. Mugilan, what are some of the reasons which have contributed to Tamil Nadu coming up with this step?
Definitely, we have seen, it is not the first time, we have seen Tamil Nadu always adopted to the two-language policy, and we even seen in earlier instances when the union government pushed for the national education policy, the new national education policy, several states including Tamil Nadu opposed it, particularly Tamil Nadu opposed the new education policy for its three-language policy, and it has also stated that the state is completely against the entrance exams for 3rd, 5th and the 8th standard students, and we have seen over the years also Tamil Nadu always had its own educational policy, but now as an updation, now the Tamil Nadu state government have formed a committee to come up with a new state education policy, particularly after the DMK government coming back to the power. Very initially they announced that the state will come up with its own state education policy. So following that, now they have formed the committee, and this committee, there are several experts, educationalists, and even people from other fields also have been brought under this committee. For example, we have seen Jawahar Nason, former Vice Chancellor, he was in the NEET committee. Now he has been brought to the state education policy. We have stalwarts like Vishwanathan and even T.M. Krishna to give a diverse view for forming the state education policy. So we have to wait and watch when this committee will be finishing its work of forming the new education policy. But the task has been given to the committee, and the committee will be headed by retired Judge Murugesan.
Right, Mugilan, thank you so much for joining us with that.